What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona in La Liga, the final match before the international break. And of course, it is a monumental match, absolutely crucial and vital for the La Liga title race, and probably could even decide a lot of the momentum in terms of the winner. It doesn't get bigger than this, of course. Up until this point, it is a huge game. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below, and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so regular kickoff time in La Liga, and this match will be taking place at the Real Metropolitano Stadium, which of course is the home of Atletico Madrid. It won't be the last time we play here this season, and the referee for this match has also been confirmed. And according to Xavi, the former manager of Barcelona, we do have the most fair and best referee in La Liga for this match, and it is Ricardo de Borges, who I did believe refereed the last game against Atletico Madrid, whether it be in the league or in the cup. I think he definitely refereed one of those two games, and it will be arguably Javier Iglesias Villanueva. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table, where Barcelona are currently sat top of La Liga on 57 points after playing 26 matches. We have 18 wins, 3 draws, 5 losses. You look at our last 5 games in the league. Beautiful 5 out of 5 wins. Finally. Of course, second place, Real Madrid on the same amount of points, 57 points after playing 27 matches, 17 wins, 6 draws, and 4 losses. Their last 5 games, 2 draws, 2 wins, and a loss. Same record as Atletico Madrid, who of course on 56 points, 1 point behind us, 27 games played, 16 wins, 8 draws, and 3 losses. Here's where it gets a bit juicy. Of course, Barcelona have a game in hand following that postponed match against Osasuna, so theoretically speaking, if we win that game, we have a 3-point advantage at the top of La Liga. Of course, we have a 4-point difference against Atletico Madrid. Now, when first we talk about who Real Madrid face, they will of course be playing later on today, so we will know the result of the Madrid game going into this game. They play Villarreal away. I tell you what, I could see drop points here for Real Madrid. They tend to struggle at the what's it called, the stadium? Not the Benfica, the Ceramica. They tend to struggle there over the past few years. I think they won there last year, but they tend to have narrow victories, narrow loss, narrow draws, so keep your eyes on this. Villarreal, of course, a good team coming off the back of that midweek game in the Champions League, a very intense game, 120 minutes away from home. It was like, just down the road in Madrid. Keep your eyes on that game. They will play, of course, later on today. For me, we're at a point now where Barcelona has to maintain control. The fact that we're top of the league with a game in hand, of course, getting that game postponed against Osasuna, shows how much of a good position we are in. I would say not losing this game would be a massive bonus for Barcelona. Of course, if we don't lose this game, we will, of course, temporarily go into second place. But, of course, having that game in hand, as long as if we just stay in first place after this weekend, I think I'll tell you this right now for free. It's now, of course, March 15. If Barcelona are top of the league by this weekend, so no matter what happens, Madrid lose or we lose, or we win and they win, whatever it may be, I think we'll win the league. That is how important this weekend is to get a result against Atletico Madrid. Crucial in the league standings. It will not only give you confidence and momentum, but also huge advantage going forward. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Atletico Madrid. Without a shadow of a doubt, Atletico Madrid this season are one of the top 5 best teams in Europe, probably after Barcelona, PSG, Real Madrid. Maybe you can throw Bayern Munich in there in the mix. I think they're up there this season. I have to say this. In my 15 years of supporting Barcelona, this is the Atletico Madrid team that I do fear the most, because they've had other teams that have been successful, have been strong against us. But this team, I feel like, are just a different breed. They're a team that I feel like are a genuine threat. And of course, we've seen that in the 2 times we have played them this season. Last time we played them, of course, was in a thriller 4-4 draw at the Montjuic. Again, Barcelona balling in the beginning of the game and at the end of the game. We were 2-0 down, brought it back to 4-2, then balled it 4-4. You can see the lineup, of course, on the right-hand side there. Basically, our strongest team, barring, you could say, Varane or Lua up front, but it was a strong team, strong lineup, great performance yet again, but we cannot get a win. Same thing, of course, happened in the first game this season in the end of December. We lost 2-1, great game. We were up 1-0, and we balled it in the second half 2-1. So both scenarios against Atletico Madrid this season, we dominated, we were the better team, but in the end, neither of them we came out with wins. Now, since that game, the 4-4 draw in the Copa del Rey, Atletico Madrid have played 4 games. They beat Athletic Club 1-0. They lost to Real Madrid 2-1. They lost to Getafe 2-1. They beat Real Madrid 1-0 in 120 minutes, but of course went on to penalties and ended up getting knocked out of the Champions League round of 16. So let's take a look at those last 3 games. I have to say, by the way, the Athletic Club game, the 1-0 narrow victory, great goal by Julian Alvarez around the 70th minute. So they almost got away with that game without getting any points out of it. So another, bananas king game, you could say. Firstly, of course, the first leg against Real Madrid, 2-1 loss. To be fair, I think Atletico Madrid were the better team in the first half. It was a very, very even game. They scored, of course, Brahim Diaz, an offside goal where Vinicius is standing and, crazy position. Of course, Rodrigo and Julian Alvarez's goals were absolutely sensational. Of course, more so Julian Alvarez, but a very, very tight game. Both teams had their chances. I think Atletico Madrid dominated the first half and Real Madrid probably dominated the second half. So a game of 2 halves. Real Madrid walk away with the narrow victory. Next up, 2-1 loss to Getafe. They got done by Borlas, which I think is absolutely crazy. But it was a very, very, typical game. You expected, terroristic football all over the pitch. Both teams that love to sit back and just hit on the break. First 70 minutes was absolutely dire. They get a penalty. Atletico Madrid, Sorloth buries it. Red card for Angel Correa for a bad challenge and also swearing at the referee. Adam Barry scores 2 goals in 2 minutes to get Getafe the 3 points. Of course, pretty much scammed it. I think probably a draw would have been, based on the run of play. I think it was Borlas' first win against Atletico Madrid as a Getafe manager, full stop period. I think it's for Getafe's, I think it's Diego Simeone's first loss to Getafe ever since, of course, he started coaching Atletico Madrid back in 2008, 2009. So quite a sensational game. Of course, massive draw points there for Atletico. That's why they have that point behind in the title race. So a big, big loss for them. You're thinking, all right, they have a big loss, no worries. Midweek, they have, of course, the Madrid derby again at home. So again, they had a home game in the last game. 120 minutes of football. That scores in the first 30 seconds. Conor Gallagher, in the end, goes to penalties and they lose. Now, regarding the penalty shootout, does not really bother me. Again, they're out. It's whatever. In the 120 minutes, I would say the second half was, I think the whole entire game really was really even, which just shows how close I think the levels of the 3 teams, the big 3 in La Liga this season are: Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid are getting kind of lucky there. They're relying a lot on their individual quality, not more so on tactic and team structure. They just have such a good team on paper that they kind of, can survive games. Atletico Madrid, of course, going toe-to-toe with them. The pole going off injured in this game as well, one to watch out for. But I think in the end it came down to the penalty shootout. Penalty shootout is always 50-50. Again, Atletico Madrid don't get their way. I think the last 5 times they've been knocked out. They faced Real Madrid in the Champions League, they got knocked out, whether it be in the final or in a quarterfinal or semi-final, round 16, whatever the case may be. So again, Atletico Madrid failed to beat Real Madrid when it matters the most. I think the one time I've seen Atletico beat Madrid when they need to win, like in a game that matters, was last season, the Copa del Rey. To be fair to them, Atletico, they stopped them from Real Madrid last season from winning the treble. Apart from that, they always bend over to Real Madrid. So to be honest, not quite surprised by this result in the end. Now on the screen right now is the line that I believe that Diego Simeone will select for this match for Atletico Madrid. I think he'll go, of course, a 4-4-2. Jan Oblak in goal, back four Llorente, Jimenez, Lenglet, Javi Galan. Midfield 4, of course, Simeone on the right, Leon on the left, Barrios and DePaul in the middle, Julian Alvarez and Antoine Griezmann up front. When I was thinking about what kind of lineup Simeone could go with, again, his squad is so elite. He does not even have a Gala 11. Maybe this is me as an outside looking. Maybe I can talk to Atletico Madrid fan. They might know what their best lineup is. But for me as an outsider, I have no idea what Atletico Madrid's best lineup is. Maybe you can kind of graft it based on who's available and stuff like that. But everyone's fully available for this game, and I still struggled. Of course, we could see Reinildo at left back. We could see Conor Gallagher coming into the midfield. We could maybe see. They have so many options. Of course, Sorloth or Force Correa is suspended for this game, so Sorloth could of course start out front. We could see, of course, Llorente move into the midfield. Someone else coming in at right back. We can see Leonard coming in at center back. There's so many different options, but I think you go with this team, a very balanced team. Of course, DePaul is the big question mark. He did, of course, come off in the Madrid derby midweek injured. I think they will probably pop him in some drugs, some painkillers if he'll play this game. Of course, we know that DePaul is an absolute warrior. It's an important game for them, so I think in the end he will play. I think it would be absolutely idiotic for Simeone to start Sorloth, but again, coming off the back of 120 minutes midweek, you don't know who's tired, who's not, what Simeone will prioritize. Of course, he does know this is a big game. They only have 2 trophies now to fight for, La Liga and the Copa. Will he prioritize the Copa del Rey? At least, hey, let's win a cup, first trophy in 5 years. Let's just go and focus on that game over this game. You don't really know what Simeone's, prioritizing. Of course, how the mood is, how the atmosphere is around the dressing room after being knocked out by Real Madrid yet again. But based on what I think, my knowledge, I think this will be the line that Simeone will select for this match. So overall, final thoughts on Atletico Madrid. Look, I think they're an absolutely world-class team in my opinion, both on and off the pitch. Their squad is fantastic. They play good football. They've had an unbelievable season in my opinion from what I've seen. They of course could end up winning the double, or they could end up winning trophies this season. They are very well managed by the manager, Diego Simeone, who again, his record in home games for Atletico Madrid is not too bad against Barcelona. Of course, the away record is crap. 1 win, which was of course at the Montjuic. If you want to count the Montjuic, he's winless at the Camp Nou. We'll put it that way. But of course, an absolutely sensationally elite manager who again sits back, parks the bus, hits the teams on the break, but does so in a very, very effective way. In terms of players to look out for, I think of course I have an abundance. Watch out for Long Lit. In some way, somehow, he drops 2 match losses against us this season. Yeah, and All Blacks having a great season. Laurenti's a fantastic player. Depol and Barrios having breakthrough seasons for Atletico in the midfield. Absolutely fantastic. Julian Alvarez having the season of his life. I think he has 20 goals, 10 assists. Brilliant numbers for him. Griezmann, of course, an absolute threat. It's just a team full of problems. I don't think they have one player in the team that I would say is a weak point. You could maybe say Javi Galan at left back, even though Lamine Yamal did well against him in the last game. But I think Javi Galan is still a quality fullback. Of course, we were with him back when he was at where was he at? Levante, Real Sociedad, something weird. Oh, it was Celta Vigo. That's what it was. So again, he's a great player as well. Ranieldo who would come in, Lino, Simeone's son, Simeone. I mean, it's just an absolutely world-class team, and I think there is no, weak position in that everyone is a threat. That is going to be the issue in this game. But the most important thing, the most vulnerable point we can think about Atletico Madrid is their style of play, because this is now for the past, 10, 15 years, we know how they're going to play. It's just now about really combating that. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Hansi Flick. I'm going to try my best to predict this lineup. I think, of course, it will be very, very easy to predict. I think he will select this lineup on the screen right now, which is pretty much our best team. Chesney in goal, a back four of Koundé, Kubarsi, Inigo, and Balde. Midfield three of De Jong, Pedri, and Olmo. Front three, Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, and Rafinha. The only change I could see is, of course, that midfield. It could maybe start Casado. We are playing away from home. It could maybe start Gavi for some more engines, some more runners in the midfield. Apart from that, I think everything else is set in stone. Back five, easy. Front three is on lock because he made Ferran, but I don't think he will start Ferran over Lua this time. The only point change I could see is in the midfield. And I think it's a good thing that we have a Gal 11, but also maybe a bad thing because the team, Atletico Madrid will probably know exactly what we're going to pick. I think the option of the bench in this game will be crucial. Looking at Fermin Lopez, Casado, Araujo off the bench as well. Ferran Torres are going to be very, very important substitutes in this game. But I wouldn't be surprised if Flick keeps it. Of course, it's the exact same length he played against Benfica midweek, apart of course Araujo, because of course Kubarsi was suspended with that red card. But I have no doubt in my mind this is the lineup that Hansi Flick will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Hansi Flick will select. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was the Barcelona coach. Not going to waste too much of your time, of course. I have picked the exact same team. Casado, I think this like the Copa del Rey game, like the league game. Casado off the bench will be huge. Araujo off the bench will be huge. Ferran Torres off the bench will be huge. Fermin Lopez off the bench will be huge. Starting the game is where, of course, the question mark comes in. This is the best, most balanced team that we have this season. This is by far our Gala 11. I think it'll be unchanged from now until the end of the season. Of course, barring injuries, this could change, but I mean, like, this is our best team, everyone fully fit, which of course, thankfully, we do have now, barring, I think, Christensen, maybe Christensen has a green, I don't even know what the hell is going on with Christensen nowadays, but basically, our fully fit team, this is it, of course, apart from the two marks that are out for the rest of the season. Maybe just will come back early, but I think this is the best team to go for in this match. I picked the exact same team that Flick will select, I think, anyways. In the comments down below, let me know if you agree with my lineup and Flick's lineup, or if you make any changes. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I've gone with a score draw as my official prediction. 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4, 5-5, 6, or whatever it may be. A draw with goals in the game. I feel very, very, very nervous for this game, but I believe in the team. I have a good feeling that we will not lose this game. So a draw or a win. Of course, we have a loss and a draw against Atletico this season. We have not beaten them this season. Going away in their stadium is gonna be tough, even though they, basically 120 minutes did beat Real Madrid by getting knocked out, so it has that bittersweet feeling. They're an absolutely world-class team, but of course, we are as well. We are the best team in the world this season without a shadow of a doubt, and this is the perfect match before the international break to go out there and prove it. Last season, we won at this stage, in this moment, 3-0 against Atletico Madrid. I think definitely a weaker team. I think right now, this team that we're facing is much better than last season. But again, we still beat them. Joao Felix, of course, the Joao Felix thing was still there. From in scoring, Lua scored an incredible goal as well. So we've done it before. The majority of these players have won the season. They know what it is. They know how it feels to win in the stadium. They know how to do it as well. And hopefully, they can go out there and do it. But I'm going to be saying my arse right on the fence and going with a score draw as my prediction. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that was a match preview for Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona in La Liga. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. First thing I know is your score prediction. And secondly, on those lineups. First, did you agree with my lineup and flex lineup? Would you change anything? Formation, surprisingly, maybe some more importantly, probably in terms of personnel. Leave me all your thoughts down below. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me and watch the game with me. Follow track of the match by my match reviews. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Huge game ahead that'll dictate the entire mood for the next 2 weeks. Hopefully, inshallah, we can get a positive result. And I'll see you guys then for that. Take care and Forza Barca.
Barcelona.